Okay, you should now have all your pegs knit over where your brim is now attached on your loom. So the next instruction on the pattern is knit another round all the way around using traditional knit stitch. And as I was saying earlier, E-wrap, okay, which is this stitch right here, is not the same as the traditional knit stitch here. This is all done on the loom. This is an E-wrap stitch, which is actually called a twisted knit stitch or knitting through the back loop. This is a traditional knit stitch. So people will ask, can I use an E-wrap? You can, but it's not going to look the same. It'll look a lot different, okay? So I'm going to do the traditional knit stitch. Traditional knit stitch is just the reverse of a purl stitch, okay? So you're going to lay your yarn on top of your peg, okay? And then you're going to go through, grab that loop, pull it down through the bottom, and lift it off and put it back on your peg. Okay, let's do that again. So we're going, whichever direction you're going, you may be going the other direction. We're going to go up through the bottom, grab this loop with our hook, pull it down, making a new loop, and then lifting this one off and putting this one back on, tightening it up. So we're going to do one round of the traditional knit stitch. Meet me back here. Okay, so we finished our one round of knit. Hang on. Alrighty, so whoops, this is the loom knit. So I said knit another round all the way around using traditional knit stitch. Then we're going to repeat the following sequence a total of 3 times, or however long you want your hat, okay? If you do 2 rounds, I don't think 2 rounds will be enough, or if you wanted to do more than 2. Okay, so this is going to be the repeat. So first and foremost, we're going to do 6 rounds of purl. Okay, so all the way around your loom, you're going to purl every peg and you're going to do 6 rows. All right, so to do the purl, you're going to bring, now your yarn is going to go below your stitch and you're going to put your hook in, scoop up the yarn, bring it up, make a new loop, just like we did before, but no twisting. Okay, we're just going to set it down on there so we don't twist it this time. Okay, so again, going to go down, scoop up the yarn. There are other videos from Loom a Hat, Denise at Loom a Hat, or Kristen at Good Knit Kisses that will do a slower version of this if you need it. All right, so you're going to go down, scoop the yarn, bring it up, make a new loop, pull this one off, replace it with this loop, okay? So we're going to do that all the way around, and you're going to do that 6 times. So meet me back here after doing 6 rounds of purl. Okay, so now you should have finished your 6 rows of purl. So we have our brim, then we have the 1 row of traditional knit, and then we have 6 rows of purl. So basically, this is not exactly the hat because I missed the first row of knit right here, but this is what your purl stitches are going to look like. These knit stitches right here were done in U-wrap. I'm going to do this next one in a traditional knit stitch. This is basically your hat pattern here with your brim. Then you should have a row of knit to give it that nice little, so it gives it a little separation there. And I missed that because I was trying to read the knit pattern and probably do something else at the same time. Anyway, so the next instruction on the pattern is to, okay, we did 6 rounds of purl. We're going to do 2 rounds traditional knit stitch, okay? And people are going to say, can I do E-wrap? You can do E-wrap, but as I mentioned earlier, it will look different. So we're going to go back to that traditional knit stitch. So you want to put all your work down at the bottom, and remember, the yarn goes over the top. Your hook goes under the bottom. You're going to grab that loop, pull it back through, and put it back on the peg. Okay, once again, wrapping around, underneath, pull that stitch down. You're also going to use less yarn, and I really need to use less yarn because I have only about 108 yards and I'm worried that I may not have enough to finish this hat. All right, so we're doing 2 rounds of the traditional knit stitch. When you do that, meet me back here. So I finished 2 rounds of the traditional knit stitch. So what you have should look something like this. You have your brim, you have this 1 row of knit that we did, your 6 rows of purl, and now you have 2 rows of knit. And if you'll notice, purls look like knits on the opposite side, and knits will look like purls. So, all right, so the next instruction is to 2 rounds of traditional knit stitch. Then we're going to do 4 rounds, 1 by 1 rib, using traditional knit stitch. It's not going to be twisted, okay? So once again, you can try and use E-wrap, but it will look a little bit different, okay? So I'm going to use the traditional knit stitch, and we're not going to do it twisted like we did the brim. This is just a straight rib stitch. So you come under the bottom loop, pick up the top one, and this is what you just got through doing. Knit 1, now we're going to purl 1. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way around the loom, knit 1 and purl 1. I have numbers written on my loom so that I can tell what the even numbers are and what the odd numbers are. So I know that all my odds are going to be knits and my evens are going to be purls. If you think you might get lost, you can always use either a removable stitch marker, which I actually have on another loom at this time, or some people use that electrical tape that comes in blue and red and yellow and different colors, and just put a little piece of tape on each peg that you're going to purl. 1 knit, 1 purl, all the way around, and you're going to do that 4 times. Meet me back here. So I finished up 4 rows of the 1 by 1 ribbing. So you can see better on this side that we did our purls. This is our brim, our row of knit, our row of purls, because this is the opposite side, our rows of knit, and then our 1 by 1 ribbing. Then if you turn it over, you can kind of see. So the last section in this pattern repeat, we finished the 4 rounds of 1 by 1 ribbing. Now we're going to do 2 rounds again of the traditional knit stitch, exactly like this one. So you're going to do 2 rounds of the traditional knit stitch. Then you're just going to start back here and repeat this however many times you need to get your hat the length that you want it. So do your 2 rounds and pause the video. Okay, so you will have now finished 1 complete round for the body of the hat. The actual pattern starts with the purls. 6 purls, 2 knits, 4 rib stitch, 2 knits. And then you're just going to repeat that until your hat is the size you want it. So you can see on this one, I left out a couple of the knit rows, not intentionally, but just because I didn't read the pattern properly. So once you do 3 sets of the pattern, then I can go through the bind off with you.